got NAOR against Checkered Racing Cup Series. Joining me just like last night in the booth buddy, look at all this going on already. That's pretty phenomenal. But yes, Mr. the one and only Rick James. Rick, we saw a lot of action last night with NNR I just had it, I just lost it. But man,
it was a fantastic night. I'm fantastic, Pete. I'm so happy to be joining you in the booth tonight. A big shout out to Broken Toes, J-Mac, and Ace Petty. A great show in just the second race of this brilliant, wide open racing tournament. Race 3 of the Fast Family League Showdown, Pete. It's the Checkered Cup Series up against NAOR, once again at Kansas. Back again, and I think the track is still warm from all that action last night.
It's got to be. Those guys lit it up without a doubt. Yeah, NAOR Checkered Racing Cup Series got about 10 on 10, so we've got about 20 cars on track, back under the lights. Rack and stack them back up a few times. These cars are really amazing heading around this track. We'll have to see if anybody tries a few different lines, or if it's still going to be all about that top line, that high line momentum. It's going to be a great time. If you had to pick in the roster that we got now in front of us, do you have any faith in one of these guys out there? Does anybody hit you up that, hey man, keep an eye on me?
I haven't been hit up personally by any of these drivers tonight, but I'm looking at that roster for NAOR. That's the name that I have been hearing more than anything else, Pete. And let me tell you, as you go through these rosters, you start to see some of these names that ring just a little bit more familiar than the last. Based on the clout, based on what I heard so far, my money's on NAOR, but given the race we just saw, given the race last night, anything can happen tonight. I'm so excited to throw that green flag and get underway.
Well, let's talk about NAR. You think that they might have the upper hand? Might as well just head on out, go through these rosters, and give credit where credit's due. If you want to start with NAR, go right ahead, sir.
Pete, if you wouldn't mind taking that for me, I'm having just a little bit technical difficulties here. Get started with NAOR, pal.
Absolutely. With NAOR, the man at the top of the pack, guy that runs this series, it's going to be the 22 of old J-Pa. After J-Pa got the 3 of Dan the Lawn Man, the 6 of Juicy, the 8 of J Quims, the 12 of the one and only Stout Whiskey, the 14 of Baritone Boss 14, the 17 of Cole 315. You got the 20 car of Advanced Lion, the 21 of Beast Hunter 818, and then the 43 of Q-Dog Z2. They've got a few substitutes in case anything was to happen. It's going to be Chained Graboid, Bravo 40, and Cheese 2081. Great lineup there. I'm very curious to see what Checker's going to be able to do with these guys, and vice versa for NAOR. I'm not very familiar with Checkered Racing. They could just come on out and take care of business.
Take care of business indeed. You see highlighted in white with the number 9 is NASCAR King YouTube starting us off. He's the owner of the Checkered Racing Cup Series. In the 96, I Am Toasty, even 4 in the 88. Bad Jimmy 420 looking to smoke the competition in the 24. Stroker Ace in the 11. The Real Broski, GSR Thrasher, Fire King, Davis 2K7. And MSU in the 42. Now, MSU, Pete, is a late addition to this. Clemson fan was in the number 42, or scheduled to be in the 42, but as of a few hours ago, we've had this last-minute change here with the substitutes. B3 is the Chief with the number 10. In the 48, Fake Fiery, one of the 2 substitutes, but no last-minute changes for them so far. So what you see above that sub-line is going to be your starting lineup for Checkered Racing.
Yeah, Checkered Racing, NAOR, now fully covered. Next time we're talking about these guys, it will be on track. These guys have already finished their qualifying. They're geared up, ready to go, got the fluids warmed up. But, we can't start any big series, whether it's a sporting event here online or if it's a sporting event in one of the greatest coliseums anywhere around the world, without our national anthem. And I tell you, we got a great one lined up. It's a hell of a video in case you caught it last night. If you're ready, here, I'll. Man, I can't. My mic's giving me a little bit of feedback. Sorry about that. But if you're ready, we'll go ahead and kick that off.
I'm ready to go. Let's get it started.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please stand and remove your hats. Let's pay some tribute. All right, guys. Again, big. I tell you, we're about ready to get this going, and I am looking at these rosters more and deeper. I'm seeing some names that I actually do recognize. It's going to be great to see how these guys battle it out. Rock NASCAR, thank you very much for checking in. As always, sir, great to see you, and thank you very much for all you do for these communities. But Rick, what do you say? We ready to light this up?
Let's kick the tires and light the fires, man. I'm excited. Kansas is ready. I don't think they can hold us, Pete. As soon as we throw this green flag, I'm really excited to see how aggressive these drivers are going to be in the opening laps.
Yeah, we saw last night some guys on different kinds of equipment were able to get different kinds of restarts. I can recall many times where the Aviator and a more smoke were able to pull out and really just get that line rolling up top. We'll have to see if any of these guys were watching that race last night, maybe picked up a few tips or tricks. Um, but that high line is really where you want to be. Maybe the middle of the high line, but you want to stay off that bottom. All you're going to do is really just wear down your stuff.
Tires are going to come in a premium, Pete. No question. Last night we saw one or two drivers have huge trouble trying to come down pit road, trying to regulate their speed, and tires played a factor into that. The green flag pit stops were crucial last night. NNR capitalized on every last one. They saved their tires by riding that high line all night long, and in the end, the domination in points spoke for itself. I hope that we have a closer competition tonight, and I'm expecting the team that controls the high line to advance to round two.
Well, the counter is back up and running. These guys are getting ready to get set, just waiting on that ever important invite to get into the lobby. And they on key, there's the one and only JPA with that invite. So I'll go ahead and grab that. If you didn't get one, please let me know, and we'll get you set as well. So we're gonna get rid of this, and we're gonna bring on some more content. Did I lose you, Rick?
No, right here, Pete. Bring on that content. Let's go. I am ready for these green flags start.
Absolutely. Just got to get, there we go, get loaded in. Um, Quite a few people out there. Asbold shouting out J Pa Stout, Q Dog Dan, and Jay Quim. Hope saying he's actually going to be the CHRL commentator. Well, Hope, welcome to the show tonight. Stroke Race saying gonna be awesome. And in Arcoe saying let's go NAOR. Exodus Maverick, good to see him back. He's saying let's go NAOR as well. A lot of different votes out there. It's good to see. Come on.
A lot of fans in the chat, a lot of fans watching at home, Pete, and you can tell a lot of the involvement is already piquing not only the interest of the drivers, but piquing the interest of fans that otherwise would not have known of the Fast Family League Showdown. It looks like we're ready to go to green.
You're ready to go to green. It looks like the 12 of Stout Whiskey on the pole with the 3 car of Dan the Lawman right to his outside. You got the 21 of Beast Hunter. Might as well work our way through while we're still right here. Jay Quim in that 8, 22 of J-Pa. Looks like the 88 car of Even Force, 64012. The 14 of Baritone Boss, not quite sure what happened there. It's kind of getting turned around. Are they restarting?
We could be restarting here, Pete. Some cars turned around. A couple of cars already down pit road. I saw at the beginning of the broadcast one car lagged out of the race. Could be some server issues here, Pete. I think we're going to have a complete restart of the race tonight.
Yeah, Davis out there in chat saying everybody's lagging out. Well, very unfortunate, but we'll get this all stacked back up here as quickly as we can. In the meantime, just kind of working our way through the field. Looks like these guys are all running normal paint schemes, actual paint schemes. It doesn't really look like they put their their creativity to the test tonight, although there were some issues with the numbers and all that we couldn't see last night.
Some issues with the numbers. I think that's one of the reasons we are running the regular NASCAR paint schemes as opposed to custom paint schemes. Hopefully they get these bugs fixed and figured out. The drivers are on top of their nerves right now, just ready to turn some laps. Pete, as a driver, it's got to be incredibly difficult when you're trying to go racing, and by all accounts, the game just won't let you.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, they've had their nerves. They're ready to go. They've been watching the broadcast that Frozen Toes, J-Mac, and Ace just put on, and now here they are. They're sitting in their driver's suit, sitting behind the wheel. They're ready to go. It's like a starting park all of a sudden. Or the rain just all of a sudden came out, skies opened up, sitting back on pit road and just waiting for that red flag to be lifted so we can go back green again.
Yeah,
absolutely.
There was a driver that had a few connection problems. We're going to try to pick him up one more time. If not, we're going green.
10-4, sir.
And be looking for a invite from Mr. Slyjob himself.
Beautiful.
All right. Mr. Slyjob. There we go. Let's get a little bit of contrast to that color on the bottom of your screen. Got everybody's Twitter handles lit up for you. So if you want to get a hold of NAOR or NAO Online Racing, you can do that. Checkers, you can do that as well. Mr. Rick James, his Twitter's on the bottom as well. So is mine. And, of course, the one and only Fast Family Racing League Showdown. They're highlighted as well. So you wanna add any of us? Be our guest. We're always willing and welcome to talk to anybody new. It's kind of what we do, isn't it, Rick?
We're here for the love of racing, Pete. It's why we're here. We love to watch racing. We love to talk racing, and we love to call it, certainly. I don't think you'll find a more passionate sport than auto racing. And of itself, there's just something beautiful and simplistic about just finding out who's faster than the other guy. And not only do we have that sort of competition in this grandiose tournament, but it's going to bring together a large portion of the NASCAR community that otherwise wouldn't know of all the great talent there is virtually next door.
Yeah, I tell you, I talked to you in Atlanta last night. We were talking about the gaming and all that, and how far back we all kind of go in these NASCAR series, whether it's EA or Technics or now it's 704 or Monster or whoever. If I wasn't into this, I wouldn't have been involved for the last 11 years. I love it. I've only been broadcasting now for about a year. But man, I'm loving every second of it. All the people, all the laps, the passes, the slide jobs, everything. Man, it's going to be another great night. Looking forward to this one too.
Just waiting to get that green flag right now, Pete. I think I'm just as eager as some of these drivers here. And the tension of being a single elimination tournament for 42 leagues just adds to the pressure
Did you get
of
an invite?
what this Fast Family League Showdown has.
Did you just get an invite?
I did not.
Okay, stand by.
There's a Discord message for you as well, Pete.
All right. Are you showing?
All right, fellas, got the invite.
Can you send one to Rick, please?
Yep.
Thank you.
They are taking a pace lap
Okay.
to get back in positions, and then we'll go green.
Sounds good. All right, but man,
Can I
I
get that
tell
invite?
you. Say what?
Still need that invite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jake needs So yeah, we're gonna keep up with these guys, whether it's on the track or on the grass, it seems. But yeah, they're gonna line back up as they qualified. So get around on this pace lap. Whether you're first or whether you're 20th, you're gonna get in position. You're gonna be ready to go. Going down this backstretch right now. Looks like first through about fifth are in position. Again, the 12 car stout whiskey with the 3 of Dan the Lawn Man. They set fastest times right here. Everybody else filing in slowly but surely. Here we go.
The tension's rising up now. Each of these drivers waiting for that green flag to fly, starting to get into position, trying to stack themselves and trying to make sure they get a good jump when the green flag flies. Patience is going to be a virtue in these opening laps, Pete. These drivers are going to want to stay off of each other for as long as possible.
Yeah, I'm almost thinking that they might have to take one more lap in order to finish this lineup. There's quite a bit of spacing between them. Yep, and that's exactly what's going on here. At least that's what it looks like so far. Still at a pretty calm pace, but this is just the calm before the storm. Pretty soon there will be a whirlwind of cars in the bottom line, top line, middle line, all the way around until they get kind of get settled in to their line, hitting their marks, ready to go. Again, coming out of 1 and 2, going down this backstretch. You see some people swerving back, forth, side to side, just doing whatever they can do to get some heat in these tires. Not quite sure what's going on there between the 8 and another car, and it looks like they're lagging out again.
Issues already, connection issues. A third time's going to be the charm here, Pete. I'm confident that we're going to stack them and rack them for a third time and get this race underway. For all of those watching and giving us love in the Twitch chat, thank you so much. Get your friends in here. The green flag hasn't flown yet. Let them know the ultimate tournament in racing is just about to start. Pete, the excitement's not going anywhere. If anything, I think the anxiety of wanting to get this race underway is only increasing with every attempt.
Oh yeah, I mean the longer you keep somebody from going when they're set and they're ready to go, yeah, I mean that's it only builds and builds and builds. It's like having to go to the bathroom while hearing running water. You just gotta go. There's an analogy for you, right? Yeah, Baritone Boss out there saying third time's the charm. I agree with you very much, Toby Welsh. Game needs a server fix as soon as possible. Yeah, Stroker, still some connection issues. hopefully we can get in here, get this rolling here as quickly as possible. I do have the one and only Stout Whiskey up, so I'll be able to keep up with him for lap counts and pit cycles and things like that. See if there's any issues from his point of view for cautions. Hopefully there's not, but yeah, I'm hoping that you're right and third time's the charm. All right, just got an invite from, again, the one and only J-Pot. Well, I'm going to go ahead and grab that and get loaded in. Did you get an invite as well?
Not yet, but I'm eagerly awaiting this one so we can get this race underway, Pete.
All right, let me see if I can find you again. You said that you are showing online?
I should be, Pete. Let me double check here and make sure that everything is A-okay here. Give it one more shot.
You're offline. I get you right now.
That's my own fault. Here I'm
all
thinking
good.
that. Let's go. Let's run it.
All right. Yep, Baritone Boss. Third time is the charm. We're gonna get it rolling, get it going.
Boys, the invites are out.
Thank you, sir.
You are clear to join. Regardless of what happens, we are going green.
10-4. Yeah, Toby, nobody likes the issues, but unfortunately, when the internet is the culprit, you kind of got to do what you got to do. But all right, they look strong here pretty much. I'm going to guess they're going to take one more pace lap, probably at a little bit faster of a pace, so the game doesn't go ahead and lag them out. They better get around here pretty quick. Don't just dawdle. I'm guessing that's what the issue was last time. But so far, Rick, they're looking pretty good.
They're looking pretty good coming through 1 and 2, Pete. Trying to stay organized, trying to stay off each other, but maintain the speed to get this race underway. As I'm scrolling through the field, it doesn't look like we have any connection issues so far. Hopefully, third time will indeed be the charm.
Yeah, we can count it on our fingers and on our toes. We can cross our legs, cross our eyes, cross our arms. But man, don't cross me. Here we go. Looks like, again, we got the 12 of Stout Whiskey and the 3 of Dan the Lawn Man. They're going to take these guys green. Looking a whole lot better. Coming off of 3 and 4 this time. They're all, back in a pack again. Coming to that restart zone. All you, Rick.
Coming to the line, 2 by 2, 10 rows deep. Green flag is in the air. Stout Whiskey in the Jack Link's Mustang, leading us to green. Dan the Lawn Man in the number 3 Tracker Boats Camaro to the outside at a leisurely pace. They must be starting either in 4th gear or taking this first lap as a pace lap, Pete. It's quite a pedestrian pace through the first corner.
Yeah, pretty much. Stout is almost sure to be credited with this, with leading this lap. 3-car Dan the Lawman's going to certainly try to challenge him on that outside. Pretty sure he's going to stay right there in P2 with that old 21 in P3 and the 11 in P4. It's going to be a phenomenal race. Once we do get up to speed, I am certainly ready to get this going. As you said, light the fires, kick the tires. 88 P5, the 8-car P6, 22 P7, 43 P8. And as we get back up the green, we'll get back through these cameras, get on your favorites, the guys that you're following, we'll see who's going to be able to take these stages, take that overall checker at the end, find out who's going to be advancing, find out who's going to be going home. Here we go, though, in the restart zone. One more time, sir, if you please.
Pete, my pleasure. The 12 of Stout Whiskey in the Jack Link's Mustang with the foot through the floorboard, green flag finally through the air. And for the 3rd time being the charm, Pete, we are racing at Kansas. 12 leading the 21 out of the 2nd corner. 11 Camry sitting down there in 3rd place. That's Beast Hunter in the 21 following right behind the 12. 2 by 2 for a couple rows deep. Cars jostling and weaving into the 3rd corner. Heat still not in the tires out of this 4th corner, Pete. Looks like the 12's going to lead the first lap.
Yeah, 12's going to lead the first lap. 21, very, very close to his back bumper. 3 car of Dan the Lawn Man just kind of riding right there, heading down through, cutting that apron a little short, made a little bit of contact with that grass, but we're starting to see this high line really pull away from the back. They're 3 wide, 2 wide for the lead right now with the 88. Here comes that 8 car.
38's around out of the first corner. There's a few cars. Fire King is slow out of the second corner. Baritone Boss, Advanced Lion now in turn 3. 4 cars possibly involved in that incident. The drivers come back through the line. No yellow that I can see so far. Drivers starting to stack up, Pete, and I believe they have collected that caution. First yellow of the race on lap 2.
Yeah, first yellow is going to be in the books. Hopefully we see a lot more green flag. They looked fine and dandy coming through 1 and 2. Then it got very jumbled up in the back of the pack. Not sure if there was a stack up for any certain reason. Kind of still following around with the leaders to see if we were going to have an immediate charge for that front. But yeah, we're gonna line it back up again here, Rick.
I'm so excited for this one, and finally the nerves of starting this race have dissipated, but now these drivers are going to be eager to charge their way through this field. Some takers coming down pit road, I don't believe, and we do have, that's the 88 car of even 4. He does not elect to come down pit road, so he'll be restarting out in first place. Already, mind games being played, but Pete, that 88 is going to be a sitting duck with every other driver coming down pit road.
Yep, every other driver going down pit road, getting their first taste of any adjustments they've got to make, whether they've got to go up or down on the wedge, maybe a little more tape, little more air pressure, all under presets here, no setups. It all depends on where they start on that sliding scale. Last and tonight, we did hear a little bit from guys that's starting off as low as 3 or as high as like 6. So we'll have to see how this 88 fares, but I think he's going to be, as one of my buddies says all the time, a wounded gazelle starting in the front, and he's going to have a hungry pack of lions ready to devour him. All right, looks like all these guys coming off pit road, coming through 1 and 2, going to catch back up to the back end of that 88, and yeah, we're going to stack them back up again under these Kansas lights. It looks like it's going to be the 42, if I'm not mistaken, and then the 21, the 12, and then the 95 is going to be your top 5.
As they come down to the line, Pete, it's the 88 Valvoline Camaro of even 4 leading the 42 just to his outside. Advanced line Baritone Boss Davis showing heavy damage on their cars. Looks like they're going to take one more caution flag lap. No, they're getting up to speed now. No, they are taking the caution. Excuse me. Yep. That's my bad, Pete. One more lap around. Thrasher sitting at the back. Commodore Toasty also sitting at the back. Pete, that 42 car is once again a last-minute change. Clemson fan 144, who was on the original checkered roster, only to be switched out by MSU to take over in the 42. Once again switched to the original lineup. Clemson fan back in his original seat for Checkered Racing Cup Series.
Well, during the week when they knew who they were going to be racing against, they were already out there practicing, getting everything up and running. They want to be in that seat. They didn't want it to be a waste of their time. They want to get out here. They want to race, just like you were just saying. We're all out here for the love of the race, for the love of the competition. And we've seen a whole lot of it, whether it was last night, earlier with Frozen Toes, or right here with NAOR and Checkers.
NAOR has a lot to prove already with these first 2 spots taken up by Checkered Racing Cup Series. To the green flag, a great jump from the 88 and the 42. Already some bump drafting into this first corner. 3 wide for second contact between some of these drivers. Beast Hunter right behind the 88. Clemson fan 144 in the 42. Coming in 4th for Checkered Racing Cup Series, it's Dan the Lawn Man in the number 3. Tracker Boats out of the second corner, Pete.
Yep, Dan the Lawn Man getting right up and friendly with that 8 cat car now behind the 42 and the 12 were the ones that made a little bit of contact right at the restart zone heading into turn 1. 12 got a great jump, pulled underneath the 42. 42 may not have liked it, but hey, he had the line. You got to give it to him. Had that fender. Here comes that line already coming into play. One lone challenger on the inside. That's going to be the 21, giving the 22 of J-Pa a little bit of a fit. He'll have to see if he can pull that old slide job and take the lead.
The slide job works indeed. The 12 car all the way to the front. New leader in the Jack Links Mustang. He leads this lap of the race tonight. 88 now down to the inside. He's going to swap the lead one more time, even 4. Back at the point, Clemson fan in the 42, right behind him, sliding all the way to the high side. Look at the momentum he's losing. 2, almost 3, 4 wide out of the second corner. If they dare, Pete, they hang on by the skin of their Goodyear teeth.
Oh man, the 3 car gave the 21 a hell of a shot, and it just about lifted the rear end of that 11 off the track. He couldn't hold on to it. You saw it swerving like Irvin, but here they are holding on to it. Great hands, great track awareness. Way to keep it clean, way to keep it green. The leaders are starting to step away.
Leaders are starting to sparse themselves out. Beast Hunter was the biggest loser in that turn 2 altercation. He shuffles back all the way to 6th place. I believe the caution comes out once again as the cars slow down on the backstretch, Pete. Baritone Boss in the 14. He's now rolling through turn 1. I believe, I would assume, Pete, that's the reason for caution number 2.
Yeah, you'd have to imagine. I was actually wrong on the lead car. It's actually going to be the 12 car of Stout Whiskey. The 12 and the 22 somewhat painted very similar, and the 12 taking a shot out of the 88's playbook. 88's going to go down pit road. The 12 of Stout is going to stay out on track, actually, but this time quite with a host of other cars. Not everybody choosing to pit this time.
Not everybody choosing to pit, and certainly some trickeration happening down pit road, Pete, as we take a look at these cars that did not come down pit road. You mentioned the 12 of Stout Whiskey. He only came down a few laps ago. This must be a car that likes a long run, that likes scuffed tires, so NAOR going to be leading the restart. In the 8 car, behind the 12, you have Jay Quim, another NAOR car. In the 21 is Beast Hunter, another NAOR car. In the number 6, surprise, surprise, Juicy in the Castro Mustang rounds out the top 4 that did not pit. All NAOR drivers. That 38 at the back belongs to Fire King, the first Checkered racing driver. He's going to round out the top 5 when we come to green, Pete.
Yeah, this looks like the 8 car really coming with a big old head of steam. Had to get on the binders in a hard way in order not to run into the back of Juicy. But they're starting to stack back up. Everybody's coming off 3 and 4, coming to that Geico restart zone again under these Kansas lights. Hopefully we can get a little bit longer of a green flag run. Have to see if that'll help or hurt these NAOR guys. But here we go, Rick. Back at it.
Jay Quim on the inside of the 12, green flags in the air. We're racing once again in the heartland. These white walls won't be white for long with the contact these drivers have been making out on the racetrack. The 8 of Jay Quim holding to the quarter panel of that 12 Jack Links Mustang. And it looks like one more pace lap, Pete. We're getting excited for nothing, buddy. Getting excited over nothing.
It would be a good thing if race control kind of told us if we were going to be taking a pace lap after each caution, or if they're all stacked back up, if we're going to go back green. Sorry about that, guys. Hate to get y'all ramped up, but we're getting ramped up as well. Oh well, it's all fun and games, right? Till somebody loses the wheel.
It's all fun and games until one team gets eliminated, and at the end of these few hundred laps, Pete, we're going to find out what team moves on to round 2. A big shout out to the Genesis Racing League and Filter Time eSpark into the earlier matchup tonight at the Kentucky Speedway. eSpark valiantly moving on to the second round, and we tip our cap to Genesis Racing League. The effort they put in was almost enough to advance, but next year will certainly be a better shot for them. Coming to green, Pete.
Yeah, coming to green, it's going to be the 12 of Stout Whiskey on that high side, the 8 car of Jay Quinn, the 6 of Juicy, the 21 P4, and then the 66 in P5 with a big shove from that 42 heading into turn 1, this time on a low line until they can clear themselves, get back up, get on that high line, get the motivation going, get the momentum going, and see if we can't get into a little bit of a rhythm here.
12 car of Stout Whiskey breaking out to an early lead, 8 on the high side, 21 right behind them. 3 NAOR cars, Mustang, Camaro, Mustang to the line, 12, 8, 21 your top 3. Clemson Fan, the first checkered racing car in the 42, credit 1 Camaro. That number 3 Bass Pro Camaro belongs to Dan the Lawn Man, another NAOR driver. Pete, in these early laps so far, NAOR flexing their muscle.
Yeah, NAOR definitely showing a lot of strength and a lot of speed. Got to completely agree with you. I apologize. I'm pulling up the rest of my roster now, but looks like we've got a little bit more of a fine line racing that high line. Again, we talked about it a little bit last night. I'm glad that you're back with me, Rick. I'm glad to be with you, I should say, where if you can hit your marks, no complacency. That was a big word last night that we talked about. If you can hit your marks, stay off that wall, and stay off that seam around that high side. Also, avoid that bump that's up there, so it doesn't throw off the stability under you. You can really haul the mail around Kansas Motor Speedway.
Pete, I think we're going to trade out the C word for the S word today, Pete. Complacency was one thing last night with NNR getting out to a fantastic lead over All-American Grand National, but so far with the 88 of even 4 carrying half of the standard with the 42, Checkered Racing starting to make a challenge for the lead. Keep your eye on the 88 and the 42, those top 3 in NAOR. 4th and 5th, 42 and 88 respectively, racing for Checkered Racing Cup Series, and then the NAOR car of Dan the Lawman rounding out this top 6, Pete.
Yeah, it looks like that 42 got a little hungry and thought about pulling it down, but the 88 ended up tagging the wall just a little bit. Now he finds himself the lone man down low. 42 also lost a few spots. He's going to be able to slide right back up in front of that 3 of Dan the Lawman. First 6 all nose to tail. Behind them, so the 11 all by himself, and then you've got that 6 of Juicy trying to bring up the second pack.
Juicy now coming up through the second pack. That 11 FedEx Camry is starting to make his way through this field as well, Pete. A lot of strong competitors. Stroker Race in the 11 trying to bring up the points for Checkered Racing. On the outside, 42 into the 8. 42, 3, 88 now nose to tail. That 8 on the inside belongs to Jay Quinn. He's the brave pilot trying out the low line. Pete, he is sinking like a stone to the back. There's just no grip on that inside.
Now you see some tracks where if you get you get passed on that bottom side, somebody opens up a hole, you see a whole bunch of cars fill that hole, and you drop, like you said, like a stone, like a rock to the back. It's gonna the same thing with the high side here at Kansas. If you get passed on the by cars on the high side, you will go to the back. High side, very strong, very fast, quickest way around, and it's also the least abrasive on that right front and right rear tire. These guys able to go about 20 laps on a tank of gas. Last night we saw where not everybody was able to do it on tire. We'll have to keep an eye on things as they progress, but your 88 up to P4, 42 right behind him, and then still got that 8 right back there with him.
Top 3 spots occupied by NAOR, 4th and 5th respectively for the 88 and the 42, occupied by Checkered Racing Cup Series. That is even 4, and Clemson Fan in those 2 Camaros. That number 8 Camaro sitting in 6th is Jay Quinn's. So far, Pete, these top 6 look to be the class of the field. A couple of tenths of a second back, and gaining time for Checkered Racing is the 11 of Stroker Ace. Pete, now that these drivers have gotten time in their cars to see how the tires wear, how the cars feel, and how to race against each other, this is the chance for the drivers to scythe their way through this tall competition.
Yeah, In order to do that, you got to be on that high side. You got to see what the person's able to do. Is he getting loose coming off the corner? Does he seem a little tight? Does it seem like he's getting closer and closer to the wall each time? Does it look like you're going to have to make any kind of an evasive move? Do you want to just stay away? Just like the 3 of Dan the Lawn Man did right there, and the 8 did a fantastic job to avoid that, not get collected. 8's going to move up one more. Dan the Lawn Man's going to lose at least 2 spots.
Dan the Lawman losing 2 spots, and now MSU in the 11 Camry. That is a last-minute change as well for Checkered Racing Series. Stroker Ace indeed not driving the 11 tonight. That goes to MSU, and the 42 of Clemson fan now up to second place. Pete, this Credit 1 Camaro has been gaining time. NASCAR King is now in the pits. I think green flag stops might be underway.
Yeah, I'll try to get some information off of Stout Whiskey's stream here in just a little bit. Stout Whiskey is actually the 12 car. A little bit of room instability right there, but it looks like they were able to hold on to it. Stout in the lead, 42 right there with him. Again, that is Clemson fan, 144. So NAOR in the front, and Checkers right now running P2. So it's a pretty even mix right now. Nobody's really running away with this.
No one's running away with it, but certainly the competition is fierce and it is close. Those pre-race jitters causing those first few cautions, but finally this green flag run, and the 12's in the wall coming out of the 4th corner. That's the lead for Stout Whiskey. Checkered Racing for the first time tonight, taking the lead out of the 4th corner and across the line. 42, 88, 21. Camaro, Mustang, your top 3. 21's in the wall through 1 and 2. Pete, it's a rough time for NAOR.
Yeah, Beast Hunter definitely losing some momentum. He's going to go ahead and signal right now. He's going to pit this time, probably getting a little tight, wearing on that car. If he did get any damage after a little bit of contact, he's going to want to go ahead and get that fixed. Still very, very early in the race overall. We're on lap 26 of 39, so 14 more laps to go. A full tank gives you 20, so everybody should be able to make it from here to the green and white checker to complete stage 1 after this one pit stop.
Dan the Lawman in the number 3, following closely behind that 42 and the 88, currently setting the pace at the front of this field. Those two we're going to keep an eye on. Clemson fans now finally coming in. The 88's behind him. Dan the Lawman chooses to stay out, and the lead goes back to NAOR with the number 3 Tracker Boats Camaro at the point.
Yep, going to go ahead and bring it on back up to that 3 car, Dan the Lawnman. I'm going to guess he's going to be pitting here pretty quick. I'm trying to find him right now, see if he actually does come down this time or if he's going to stay out. A little bit of damage to the front right of that 3 Tracker Boats car. Oh, a little bit of looseness under brake, trying to grab control of it, trying to woe it down from about 160 down to 50. Did a pretty good job. We'll have to see if he actually got in there too hot or if he was able to slow it down in time.
That was Fire King in the 77 Advent Health Camaro, having a whale of a time trying to get his car woed up down to pit road. So far, no speeding penalties for any of our competitors, and these drivers trying to make it through safely down pit road. For those that have never seen a NASCAR heat, any contact coming down pit road is going to be strictly cosmetic. It's the contact on the track that matters. Cole 315 in the number 17 Fastenal Mustang making contact with that outside wall. MSU back out on the track in the 11 Camry. He tucks in right behind even 4 in the 88. When the stop cycle back around at the point, we're going to have the number 42 of Clemson fan.
Yep, 42 right in front of the 12 of J-Pod. Then we got the 8 cat car of J. Quim. First, second, and third, I believe. However, right now on J-Pod stream, it's actually, I'm sorry, not J-Pod stream, Stout stream, it's showing that the 22 of J-Pod is actually your leader on pit road, but once these guys come screaming on by before he's able to exit pit road, as you just said, that 42 will re-inherit the lead with the 12 right in his tracks, and then the 8 car, again, Jay Quinn running very strong in P3.
Jay Quinn incredibly strong in P3, 42, 12, 8. Your top 3 coming out of the second corner, Camaro, Mustang, Camaro. So far, that 42 of Clemson fan setting the pace. Pete, I'm struggling to see how the 12 is going to get around the 42 without destroying the fresh tires he's just put on.
The only thing I can think of is he's got an NAOR buddy racing right behind him. They may be able to back off, kind of get a little bit of a draft. People out there in chat talking about this being a draft track. It is absolutely, but the high line at this place, I feel personally, is a bit stronger than that draft. So we'll have to see if the 8 car is able to pull himself up to the back of that 12, maybe get under him, coming off of turn 4 or off of turn 2. 12 keeps swerving side to side. Which way am I going to go? Playing tricks in the 42's mirror. First 3 starting to get a little separation back to 4.
42, 12, 8 still setting the pace, and these 3 indeed, Pete, are starting to run away with this one. The 42 of Clemson Fan racing for Checkered Racing Cup Series, the 12 and the 8 race for NAOR. That 88 between 3rd and 5th place races for Checkered Racing Cup Series so far. Anybody's game, and I'm really interested to see how these points are going to play out. 42's in the wall with less than 10 to go.
Yeah, 42 in the wall with less than 10 to go. As you just said, the 8 car and the 12 kind of double teamed the 42. The 12 was able to pull down. Now a little bit of a block from Stout Whiskey, trying to keep that 42 pinched down. We'll have to see if he's able to keep that high line momentum up. Pull back side by side with that 42 coming off of 4. He should have the momentum. We'll have to see if the 42 is able to maybe pull a little bit of slide of a side draft, but not close enough. 42 back to P2. 8 car staying strong still, P3.
12 to the outside, 8 now on the bottom. It's Stout Whiskey who's going to come away with the lead out of the second corner. The Jack Links Mustang back at the point. NAOR back at the front once again. The 42 of Clemson Fan following closely behind, giving good chase, and now he's going to get a great run out of 4. He's going to suck right up to the rear bumper of that beef jerky Menards Mustang and try and make a run into turn 1, Pete.
Yeah, running into turn 1. The 88 looks like he's been able to run down this cat car. Not sure if the 8 of Jay Quim has any damage. It seems like he is falling back from the 42 and the 12. This could bode well for the 12 if he's able to hold that 12 car up on the high side. The 42 would be very, very hard pressed to try to pass him by himself. You see the 88 trying to work his way past the 8. He wants to get back up to the bumper of that 42, see if he can't help his Checkers teammate and push him past that, push him past the 12. There we go. Get it out one of these days.
What they're trying to get out for Checkered Racing is they're trying to get out in first place. Stout Whiskey now coming up on the lapped car of the 38. That 38 goes with Checkered Racing Cup Series. That's Fire King in the sit guard Mustang, now dropping down to the inside. Classy move getting out of the way of the leader. Look at the 42 now looking to the inside of the 12, wiggling, weaving down that front stretch with the laps ticking down. Pete, he's trying his hardest to get up to that front and collect maximum points in stage 1.
Yeah, very, very classy of the 38 to pull down, let the 12 and the 42 go. Let these 2 guys battle it out for the stage win. 2 laps remaining. Last time they went by, we're going to be coming to the white flag right here to end up or close up stage number 1. 1 more lap. Stout Whiskey off 3 and 4. 42 hot on his trails. 1 more lap.
12 leading the 42 across the line. White flag flies in the air, and these white lights at Kansas shining down on these drivers. Stout Whiskey on the high side. 42 going all the way to the bottom, just on that golden yellow line. A little bit of contact for the 12 coming out of 2. He's got a great run going into 3, Pete. 1 more chance for the 42. Look at the 88 of even 4. He's going to slide up in front of the 8, and that's going to get a position out of the 4th corner. Now coming out of the 4th corner, Stout Whiskey in the 12, Clemson Fan in the 42, and now in 3rd place, even 4 in the 88. 12, 42, 88 across the line.
And it looks like
we've got more laps left to go. The white flag is now
more
out. This is the last half lap in stage 1, Pete.
Yeah, you gotta love these lap counters. But I tell you, Stout still holding strong on that high side. 42, 1 latch, last ditch effort, trying to get to the inside. No dice. This is it. I promise. 12 car to the line. That is going to close out stage 1. So max points to NAOR. 42 second, 88 third. As soon as he comes on back, Jay Quim's fourth. Dan the Lawn Man in P5. Then I believe it was going to be, let's see, Juicy, Q-Dog, Jabal, Advanced Lion, and Davis 2K7. That's going to be your top 10. J-Pa and GSR Thrasher 319 bringing up 11 and 12.
A fun stage to watch so far. They're going to need 40 laps of gas, which is going to mean 2 more pit stops coming up in this second stage. And I'm going to be excited to see who stays, who comes down, and now that these drivers have figured each other out, they're going to be very aggressive at the beginning of stage 2.
Hey, Rick James, thanks for the follow, sir. Appreciate you, man.
Better late than never, buddy.
All right, so yeah, we're going to, again, stack them back up here in the Heartland. 12 with J-Pop, 42, 88, and so the same top 4 we had as we closed out stage 1 is going to take us back green here, Rick.
Stout Whiskey leading the field across the line, 12, 42, 88, top 3 on the low side of the first corner. This is going to be one of the only times you'll see that 12 car running on the bottom. Heat now getting in the tires and the cars wound up to speed, fanning out with these 3,800-pound, 750 horsepower monsters down the third corner, rounding out this first lap. 12 is going to lead them 48 in second, even 4 rounding out your top 3.
Yeah, top 3, all nose tail behind them. A little bit of a hornet's nest as they come across the line. Might be a little bit of contact with the wall. Other contact inside,
3.
trying to pan around. Yep,
Cars
3.
flying through the air. 3, 4 cars involved in that one. If that doesn't bring out a caution, and nothing will. Third yellow of the night flies out at Kansas. Pete, we spoke about the aggression early in stage 2, and already we're not even 2 laps into stage 2.
No, not even. Everybody racing back to the line, going to whoa it up, slow it up, get it back to pace speed. And we're going to stack them back up one more time and see if we can't set them loose. I don't think anybody will pit, although tires are a premium. I mean, you come on down, just grab rights, and you'd be fine. And at that point, you might as well just top it off with a half can. But I don't think we'll see many takers. But you know what? I've been wrong before.
We're going to find out very shortly what happens here. A lot of these drivers, Pete, are going to have to come down pit road just to fix the damage they incurred on this most recent caution.
Yep, looks like so far the top 3, it looks like everybody will stay out. So everybody kind of going with the flow I thought we might see. But you can definitely bet on those guys in the back that incurred that damage, which is why we're under caution. You can bet that they'll go on down. Might as well fix damage, grab 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods, fill it up with that Sunoco E15, bring it back out on track, put your right foot forward, full throttle, get back up through, and tires prevail here.
As they cross the line, it's 34 laps to go at the point. Still, Stout Whiskey leading the field, and now in the 88 car for Checkered Cup Racing Series, making his way up to second place is Even 4. The 42 of Clemson Fan right behind him in third. The number 8 of Quim, the second-ranked NAOR driver, in fourth. And fifth place, you have the number 3 for NAOR, Dan the Lawman Pete. Still anybody's race.
Yeah, still anybody's race. Long way to go. We're only on lap 4 here in stage 2. Stage 2 consists of 37 laps, so 33 more to go. Everybody will have to make their way down pit road at least one more time. And it looks like, I'm guessing because they had to let one car, the 38, go on by to get his lap back and to not throw off scoring, they did open up pit road one more time for any last-minute takers. And looks like the 12 of Stout Whiskey, your leader, did choose to go down pit road, so it's going to put the 88 of Even 4 at the top of the pack.
88 back at the point as the drivers circle around. Certainly a time to cool the emotions down. Stage 2 starting off with quite a literal bang. These drivers having a rough time staying off each other. But Pete, I'm thinking we're going to have a repeat of Stage 1. As the drivers learn what their cars are going to do in this next stage, it gives them a chance to earn a little bit more of the track's respect.
Yeah, and it definitely demands it. You know, we talk about the high line being the fast line. You really don't want to be on the bottom. In order to run that high line effectively, you've got to be very, very disciplined. You got to hit your mark. You're not going to really be touching the brakes whatsoever around this track at all. But at the same point, you got to keep it off the wall. You want to keep it above the seams. And if you want to be fast, you want to get to the top. You want to stay there. Man, there's that complacent word again. You cannot get complacent. You got to be very, very reserved, and you got to respect where you're at and what you're doing.
The ugliest of all words, Pete, that C word, because it's a driver. It's a word that these drivers don't pay much attention to. The complacency is going to be the worst enemy for a lot of these guys out here. At the front, it's going to be the 42 of Clemson Fan restarting in second. The 88 of Even 4 going to be restarting in first place. These drivers once again racing for Checkered Racing Cup Series, and so far they're having a commanding lead in this second stage.
Yeah, it's really been a back and forth battle between NAOR drivers of Stout Whiskey and the 8 of Jay Quim, the 42 and the 88. We're starting to see some new players work their way up. Here's the 11 now in P2 with the 9 to his outside. It's a little bit of strategy. We saw some people go down pit road, saw some people stay out. We'll have to see how this works itself out as we get back under green. Who's still got the tire left to hang with the guys that pit? I don't think the 88's going to be able to do it, but if you get up on that high line, it's kind of easy to block because it's not very easy to pass.
Not easy at all. Commodore Toasty in that 96 Toyota Camry on the inside there. He's going to be rounding out the top 5 as the field comes back around for one more lap of caution. Or are they going to green? We're going to green, Pete.
Yep, we should be going to green. 88 to 42 on that front row. First time both drivers from Checkers have seen the green together. Behind them, again, the 11 and the 9. These guys up front got a very, very nice restart. Behind them, big old gaggle. We'll have to see if they're able to get sorted out or if we're going to see contact like we saw before. Working my way back through the pack right now, riding along with the 43 of Q-Dog to kind of get a new vantage point, see how they're working their way through traffic with these fresh tires. Or if they're just going to fall on back as they did before. And, man, it's a whole new ball game when you got fresh rubber in the back of the track.
First 5 places. Go right ahead, Slides out with that points update.
So it's a tight one, as we knew coming into this one, but so far in the first stage, NAOR leads with 34 to Checkered Racing's 21.
So yeah, the
fantastic news.
Very, very close.
Fantastic news for NAOR.
Bad news. Good. Bad news for Checkered Racing. One of their drivers, the number 77, was parked for some reckless driving, so they have lost a member of their team.
Checkered Racing up against it. Unfortunate news so far, but now they're leading this race with Even 4 in the 88. Clemson Fan in the 42. And some cars going around as well. Fire King in the number 77 going around on the backstretch. Baritone Boss in the 14 to the outside now of the 96. He's going to be bringing up a car for NAOR. So far, these cars, Pete, getting dicey and using all the lanes they can at Kansas.
Yeah, because the 77 pretty much wrecked by himself back there now with Fire King. He's trying to get it back up, get going, get through the gears. Looks a little wobbly, not sure if he's got a broken tire or what it might be, but trying to get back up to speed. I'm going to guess we'll see that 77 on pit road here very, very shortly. You're just talking about the 14 of Baritone Boss, another one from NAOR in the back of the pack, might be saving a little bit or also getting back up to speed, working our way through. Here's the 20 of advanced line right now, running about P5, P6, really riding that yellow line, and it looks like we are back under caution.
Back under caution once again. No idea what happened there, but I'm willing to bet these drivers were leaning on each other just a little too hard coming around this track. Up in second place, Pete, MSU in the 11 Camry for Checkered Racing has made his way, and he's now going to challenge Stout Whiskey for first at the restart.
Yep, Stout up there. You still got the 88 and
third,
the 11. They were able to pull away. Looks like Stout's going to go ahead and fill in on that low line. 11 should go ahead and pull on up unless he plans to pit under this caution. We'll have to see if there's anybody on the. If there's anybody a lap down that we'll have to wait for, or if they'll open pits this time by. You can imagine that the 88 and the 42 would both make their way down. One more effort to either fix some damage or make any last-second adjustments that you feel. Sometimes these lobbies, they change up. Sometimes they feel a little tighter than practice or a little looser than practice. One more chance to get the cars just right.
Drivers now coming down pit road, and a lot of faking, a lot of mind games being played, and nobody coming down pit road so far. So pit road is either closed or they're waiting on these drivers to make one more lap around. So far, a lot of excitement trying to figure out who's going to end up ahead of who as these points go on.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is a little bit of room instability or what. Just saw the 17 seemed like he came through. What's that?
I got unfortunate news. Checkered Racing has been disqualified from the event.
Checkered Racing disqualified. You can see the cars that are just currently running through this field, and it's been a muck out on the racetrack. Pete, this is not how we wanted this race to end, but the official news coming from the commissioner of the league, Sly Job, the race is over. Checkered Racing eliminated for reckless driving. NAOR moving on to round 2.
Well, this is definitely not the way that NAOR would have wanted to win, but I do see, we've been able to keep up with some of the action on the track. There were a few people going through and taking out their aggression on their competition. And
Pete, this is disgraceful.
Yeah,
Pete, this is absolutely disgraceful, and it's a violation of the spirit of the event. It's shades of the 2010 World Cup final, with players being literally kicked in the chest and fouls all over the pitch. And the same thing we're seeing here in Race 3 of the Fast Family League Showdown. Just disgraceful behavior by many of these Checkered Racing drivers. I agree with you completely. Not the way NAOR would have wanted to win this, but certainly a W looks the same anyway on the scoreboard, and it's just a shame for racing and a shame for the fans that stayed up that this race will not be completed.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna bring in the owners, and we'll just do a final interview, and then we'll be done.
Let's bring in the owners of NAOR if we can. I don't believe that Checkered Racing should participate any longer in this.
Yeah, I've gone ahead and killed the stream. We can go ahead and bring them in. I'll bring up the roster, and it'll be good to talk to J-Pa.
For the sake of them not cussing, let's not bring Checkered Racing into this.
I agree. I'll bring J-Pa in, and we'll do an interview. All right, be right back.
Listen.
Very, very unfortunate here, Rick. It's definitely not the way it's supposed to be. Not very good sportsmanship. I was wondering what was happening when I just saw cars driving up through the pack, wrecking them, left and right. Very, very unfortunate.
Unfortunate indeed, and a shame for the NAOR drivers and for, I'm sure, the remaining Checkered Cup racing drivers that wanted to continue this race. You heard from the commissioner as he broke in. The 77 was eliminated from the race and ordered to park his vehicle for reckless driving. He did not comply, and thus Checkered Racing Cup Series eliminated. in the middle of stage 2. Pete, we were guaranteed fireworks after the sensational race last night and earlier this evening, and we got them, just not in the way we expected.
And
So we're gonna have
it's
J-Paul
very,
and 3
very
drivers.
unfortunate. I mean, the 88 and the 42 at the top of the pack when all this happened, and they could have. I mean, they could have completely blown what was very, very close, a very, very close battle in points. I mean, NAOR was ahead, but they were not so far ahead that they could not be caught.
Now joined by the owner of NAOR, JPA. JPA, congratulations to you. Congratulations to the rest of NAOR on this win. Certainly not the way you wanted to take it, but you and your team advanced to round 2, my friend.
Yeah, not the exact way I had planned. I mean, we expected to really race for it, which, stage 1 was pretty good. We had some very good racing. A few of the checkered flag guys were up in the top 10, and, congrats to them. It really, I don't want anybody to have any negative thing going forward throughout this tournament because we're just starting, and I just really, I'm proud of my guys for just sitting there and, reading the rules, paying attention. And I mean, that's what it's going to take. It's going to take a lot of hard work from a lot of individuals to make this happen. And not the exact way we wanted to run it out, but, we will move on to the next round and get ready for some road courses.
J Potts, repeat, man. I tell you what, you guys looked very, very strong. Stout Whiskey was up and leading a ton of laps. Him and the 42 had a great battle. He had some help from the 8 of Jay Quim and also the 3 of Dan the Lawn Man. If this all didn't play out, did y'all have any other tactics or any other plans in the works? We started to see some people go down pit road, some people stay out. What was all that strategy about?
Well, I mean, if you were at the front, I can honestly, with a one-lane racetrack, I can see exactly why some of the checkered guys or even some of my guys would want to stay out and, get the track position. It's, how it drives. I mean, if you can draft off somebody, you're golden. You can sit there in second and third and get some really nice points throughout the stage. But, just shout out to my guys for, putting in the time to come out. I guess – hey, I guess they can be happy. It was a little bit shorter race than expected, but Dan and Stout and Jaquim, Q Dog, Cole, Juicy, Beast Hunter, Winding Lion. We were waiting on him. He started at the back. He made it up to the top 10 in stage 1. Came through half the field to get a few points. So good job to him. And golly, I hope I didn't miss anybody or leave anybody out there, but. Yeah, I mean, I brought Stout in here. He's, one of our aces on the team that, we expect him to come in and get a boatload of points for us. And then we got Q Dog, one of the up and comers. He's been doing very good lately in the last few weeks. And even in our practice last night against Checkered Flag, we had some really good battles and really clean racing. And Q-Dog pulled out, I think 3 top 3s out of the 4 races we ran. So, just really excited about what we got, as far as this tournament. And, like I said, looking forward to turning right turns next week.
Absolutely, J-Paw. Now with Stout Whiskey, who was in the number 12, who was leading the race for the most part. Stout, you looked poised to dominate most of this race, albeit with tough competition from many of the other drivers out there. Again, a shame it ended the way it did. Congratulations on your win, Stout. But next week, we're moving on to the road course round. From your perspective, Stout, how is NAOR prepared for the left and the right turns in round 2?
I think we got a lot of guys that's skilled, that can go to the whatever road course that we're dealt and take care of business. This is a good group of guys. This is the last year of NAOR, and J-Paw is a really good friend of mine, and just joined the race with him and these guys, and kind of, because there's a bunch of our guys that race in NNR, who put on a show last night. But I think we'll be well prepared for whatever hand we're dealt next week, and Hopefully we can put on a show the whole race, and I have to apologize to you guys who are giving up free time to broadcast these races, and you have to deal with everything like that. But hopefully I was able to when I was up front duking it out with 42s, I would put on a little show there at the end of the stage one and race clean and get that stage one.
Stout whiskey, it's repeat, bud. I tell you what, it was good to see that 12 out there on the high side, high, wide, and handsome. We're always talking about the drivers from yesteryear when we're calling these NAOR Xfinity races. You looked very stout. Not to take your name, but you, the 42, the 88, the 8, and the 3 seem poised to pull away as the top 5. And then there was a little bit of mix-up, whether to pit or whether not to pit. Were you going to have anything for that 88 or the 42 if the unfortunate disqualification hadn't come?
Oh, yeah. I mean, no offense to those guys, but I had fresh tires there. Restarted in 7th place and made up the 3rd there in 2 laps, used the bottom. It was just a matter of time, before I was able to at least get up there and challenge them. And, I believe I would have been able to pass them. Tires is so important to Kansas, running that high side. And it's almost like riding a cushion on a dirt track. That's why I love Kansas. You got to be a little bit loose, burn that right rear up just a tad. And, tires are just really important, especially at a track like that where you're basically full throttle 90% of the time around.
Yeah, just a very, very quick breather and back on the gas, keeping up the momentum. And, man, you kept it up all the way through stage 1 and the race for as long as it lasted. Congrats, Stout, man. I'm happy for you.
Hey, thanks, Pete.
Rick, you got one more?
We've got Q-Dog, one of the up-and-comers here in NAOR. Q-Dog, we saw you in the 43, making some valiant efforts coming up through that field. Next week with the road courses, Q-Dog, let's say you've got rookie stripes on the back of that car, but you still hold your own. Do you find yourself a little bit intimidated by those right turns?
Not intimidated. I've always said my motto is just to keep it on the track on the road course. I'm gonna let Stout and those guys fight for the lead and whatnot, and I'm just going to do my part as a team and try to get those, those 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th points that are pretty valuable.
Absolutely. Once again, a big congratulations to everybody at NAOR. They're going to advance to the road course round 2 of the Fast Family League Showdown. Pete, tomorrow night, the racing will continue right here on Twitch.
Yeah, we got many, many more races to come. We were talking, you and Atlanta and me were talking about last night, 20 more races or something like that. And Slide Job and Ford Tough were very, very quick to jump all over that and they said, no, we got 40 or 42. So, man, a whole lot racing left to go. Please pay attention to your Twitter. Pay attention to Facebook. The schedule is always made available. I don't have it up in front of me right now. I've got you.
Right. I've got you, Pete.
Ahead.
Tomorrow night, race 4, the Checkered Chasers League will be going up against the Wolfpack Racing League. That's tomorrow night, 9 p.m. at Kansas. I will be a part of that broadcast as well as GRM Joker. At the same time, the Carolina Racing League going up against the Quarantine Racing League tomorrow night at 9 at Chicago. Rowdy Trucks and Kay Harvick going to be in the booth for you then. 2 more races, hopefully, that will go the distance tomorrow night, and 2 more leagues eliminated from the ultimate tournament, from the ultimate racing tournament.
Yeah, nothing like this has ever been done before. We talked about that last night as well, going back to at least NASCAR 09. No one has ever put anything like this together. So far, so good. 3 races down, and plenty more laps to come.
Hey, just
One
real
more
quick,
note.
thanks, James. Thanks, Pete, and thanks to all the broadcasters for using their free time to do this, and thanks to Ford Tough and Slide Job for being race control, and they're doing an excellent job through 3 races.
A big
Thank you. I
congratulations and a big
appreciate that.
thanks to everybody involved. Slide Job and Ford Tough, certainly, not least the organizers of what will eventually be one of the greatest tournaments in racing. For those still watching, for those still interested, be sure to hit that follow and subscribe button for Repeat 1975. You'll find him at Repeat 1975 on Twitter. I'm Rick James 36. You'll find me on Twitch. I'm Rick James 36 and at I'm Rick James 36 on Twitter. Pete, it's not the way we wanted this one to end, but a thrilling night nonetheless. NAOR is going to move on to round 2.
Yep, NAOR is going to join NNR and eSpark to roll on to round 2. And as J-Pa said, looking forward to making some lefts and rights once we get to the road course stage. Rick James, thank you very much. Another great broadcast. Look forward to the next one we can do together, sir.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, fellas.
Slide Job or Ford Tough. Any last minute words?
Yeah, I just want to say, tonight was our first doubleheader, and I think, everything went as smooth as it could possibly be. There's a lot of things you can't, perceive happening, but I want to thank Ford Tough for sticking by me all night long and, running both of these races. I want to thank all the drivers from all 4 leagues for coming out and putting on a show. It was definitely an exciting one. We had a ton of viewers at home. I want to thank them for showing up and showing their support. And I cannot wait to see this keep rolling.
Yep, you want to know more? Again, keep up with Twitter, fast_family_RL. Again, I'm Repeat 1975 in the booth all night long and last night at I'm Rick James 36. You want to know more about NAOR? Follow NAO Online Racing. Again, I'll be back very, very soon. Thanks, everybody, for coming out, checking out for the follows. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you around the track. Later, guys.